Ooh, I'm late. I'm late. Hi, Muse, darling. Hang on, hang on. Time is fluid. Okay. I missed you guys. How are you? Ah, okay. Ooh, lots of spirits coming in today. Lots of spirits. Today, a lot of what's channeling in is authenticity. Okay. Um, you guys know how my channeling flows a bit like a story, right? It's truly my intention for this channel to be as close to a manual as you can get, to stepping into your mission as a light worker. I didn't even see this. The time is coming in 2020. Okay. That's why we had to do all this work. Let's see, we got 16 right now. How many of you out there? How many of you out there is an interesting holiday? Felt more like a watcher? Does that make any sense? Like you were seeing for the first time rather than feeling your way through, or maybe vice versa, right? It was almost for me very much, it's very interesting. I saw beautiful, yes, absolutely beautiful, Marlene, thank you. I saw things about my family that were beautiful that I never had really noticed about their personalities, but I also felt separated in a strange way. I felt like a separation energetically. Did anybody feel that? Yes, Suzanne. And I'm not saying, I think it's something to look at, right? It was frightening at first, right? Because these are the people you grew up with. You know that if you're new to my channel, I apologize. Terrible at this YouTube thing, but I have a mission and I'm trying to figure it out as I go. My name is Val. This is Eternal Transformations Tarot. And this channel is if you're attracted to this channel and the things that I'm saying, generally speaking, you are a light worker. I hate even using labels, and you'll figure that out as I go through my channel. For we are all truly light workers. We are all trying to raise the collective, even in our own destructive ways. However, our own destructive ways. But it's about looking at that, right? That's what I've been channeling. My gosh, we're coming through it beautifully, aren't we? I've been with you for about a year. That's how long I've been here. About a year. I started, I believe, November 3rd of last year was my very first video. And if you go back and watch it, it's like, hi, Sagittarius. I was so nervous and I was terrified. You heading out?
Yes, ma'am.
Everybody say hi to Uncle Jimbo. He's
hey, y'all.
So yeah, let the girls out. Babies. Yeah, I gotta show y'all some stuff. It's so funny. Anyway, this whole year of channeling has been about dealing with the deep, the dark, the ugly, and realizing that's mine. That's no one else's. That's mine to own. Right? Yes, that's Uncle Jimbo. Allie. Everybody says hi. They love you.
Hey, y'all. Everybody be cool.
Be safe. Drive safe. And remember, the roads are slick, okay?
Uh-huh.
All right. I love you.
I love you more.
Okay. Shut that door.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. Hello, Raymond. So let's get back into this. So through this rebirth, which is truly what's going on, it's a rebirth. I just split the deck. Rebirth. Now, interesting, when I split the deck, I got two pink cards on either side. Financial discipline and abundance. How much do these go hand in hand? It's very difficult to have one without the other, right? And what's funny, look at this. Pride, purple. Teaching and learning. How much do these go hand in hand? And how difficult is it to have one without the other? You cannot teach and learn with pride. Yet you need a certain amount of pride, don't you? You need a certain amount of pride. There's a moderation there. There's a moderation there. Look at the next two. I mean, this is how spirit works. If you allow it, The next two, both yellow. Effort. 13, the year 4, right? And creativity. You can't make anything without both of these together. If you have one without the other, moot. The muse may come with you with the gifts of creativity, but what are you really doing with it? Are you asking for it to be dropped into your lap? Or are you willing to work for what you love, for what makes your heart sing? A little bit of effort, right? A little bit of effort. Because when you put those two together, happy ending. Happy ending. So, how many of you have seen the movie Signs? I think it's called Signs. The one with Mel Gibson and the alien stuff. Give me a thumbs up if you've ever seen that. I have a delay on my end. I apologize. Yeah. Okay. So, me and, there's lots of good movies on whenever you have the holidays. They know everybody's staying home and all that kind of stuff. So me and Uncle Jimbo caught some of that movie, Signs, and I've seen it before. He had never seen it. But just so you know, Uncle Jimbo thinks I'm straight up like crazy magical witch. And I've tried to explain to him, like, no, I'm not. But because I walk in there with a lead when his shoulder's hurting, he's like, how did you know? And I'm like, wait, I can tell by the way you're walking. It's not like, not magical, I promise. Anyway, so he's looking at me at the part when he figures out why that little girl is leaving water everywhere. And he's looking at me and he's like, are they coming? And I was like, what are you talking about? I'm going to do something I usually don't do. I'm going to take you guys for a little walk around my house. And I never realized I did this. But he said, he walked me around and he said, look at that. Okay. My house isn't that clean. I don't care. Look at that. These are both water. And then we walk over here. There's my travel mug of water. I must have set it there. Water. Then we walk through here. And he walked me to each of these spots. And he was like, seriously, are they coming? And I thought, my God, I didn't even realize I did that. We counted around, I think, 10 or 11 glasses. 11. It was 11 glasses, which is even funnier. But we counted 11 glasses of water sitting in different rooms of the house. Now, although that movie is very much about the water kills the aliens and, I do think that water is healing. And half of those glasses had lemon in it. I've read a lot of times, if you put a lemon in a corner of a certain part of your room, it will actually absorb the negative energies. That's what a lemon does. Heard the same with onions. But I eat raw onions like apples. Seriously. Like, I love raw onion. And I was thinking, me subconsciously leaving these, I have a hard time drinking the last bit of water. Like, I feel like it's absorbed something in it. Unless I'm really thirsty, obviously. I'm not anxious about it, but I don't like drinking the last bit of water. And I know I should probably go rinse out my glass and just use the same glass, but I don't. I like having water in every room, and I do feel like water has a natural healing energy to it. Okay, So one of the things that was coming in a lot is that many of you are not drinking enough water. Okay. Water is the sustenance of life. Air and water, you can't live without them. And how many of you hold your breath? Do you ever catch yourself holding your breath and you're like, why am I holding my breath? Anxiety, right? Anxiety. Don't hold your breath. And when you catch yourself holding your breath, ask yourself, why was I holding my breath? It is a habit that's fixable. So I don't have much of a voice today, but we'll see what's channeling in. I'm hearing authenticity, being your authentic self. Yes, Muse, absolutely. And you can't, especially as a singer, right? That's the last thing you're supposed to do. Big belly breaths, right? Authenticity. It's so funny how much easier it is to be authentic, really, than it is to play the role that everyone expects. Many of you, I feel, may have found that out over this holiday. And instead of, did some of you feel the vibration of just, instead of getting caught up in the energy of it, flowing through it and watching, responding rather than reacting? And did you feel people respond differently to you? At first, I took it almost like, you know, I got around some family I haven't seen in years. I was like, oh, I don't fit anymore, you know, because of all of this, right? Because of all this. Where do I fit now? That wasn't it at all. That wasn't it at all. It was more about my interpretation was different. And actually, it was better. I was able to see things in a perspective that I had never really looked at before. I saw beauty in people who I had held judgment for before. I saw pain in people who I had thought were trying to hurt me before. A reaction to their yes. A reaction to where they are in the process. And like I've said, if you're attracted to this channel, you're a teacher. So spirit, if you experienced anything like that, being around your family and feeling like sort of like I'm kind of watching it from above, you know, you're seeing the entire situation much more clearly rather than being in the midst of the tornado, right? Being in the midst of the storm of it all. It's more like I can see the storm of brewing. If you were able to do that, right? You're very much a teacher. That is downloads. And that is because you've acted upon downloads. You're now able to see things that they weren't available to you before. You weren't able to see them before. These are things that usually come with great age and wisdom. This is usually the way someone will look at their family after they have many grandchildren and children, and they're able to see it from that perspective because they've already lived it. But when you're able to see it, even with grandchildren or without, when you're able to see it in such a crisp, clear picture, it is a download. And you've been given the ability to see things in such a way so that you can help heal it. And just by your actions, just by your responses rather than reactions, you are healing. Do you notice how when you respond with love and understanding for where that person is in their path, right? Even if we have a difference in political agreement, you know, political view, if we have a difference in view on raising our children, a difference in view on just the way we live life, right? A lot of judgment goes on, I feel, around holidays. And that's something to heal. To accept us each as we are on our own path. Oh, they just channeled in a song, finally. Okay. I'm actually going to have to look up the lyrics to this one because, okay, they're saying the words are important in this song. The words are important in this song. but they move kind of fast for me. So I'm going to do my best. Okay. This is a song, they're saying that many of you have heard 1,000 times before, especially if you're over the age of 40 or at all inclined into older music, especially older country music. But they're saying that many of you have never understood or listened, or not understood. Yeah. Were not able to integrate the words the way they were channeled to him. They're saying that this song was channeled. It was a channeled song. Because at this time people were becoming authentic. It was written in 1967 or 8. I don't remember. Where is it? I have the lyrics here. Where is the year it was written? I don't know why I'm wanting to look it up. What? Usually it has like the Wikipedia part where it says. Well, I think it was 67 or 68, but okay. It's called Gentle on My Mind, and it's by Glenn Campbell. I highly suggest you go watch the video. I'll try to remember to go post that, by the band Perry, because it takes that song and what it was always meant to mean, and it shows it in art, date, and age and time. Okay, I really am not going to be good at singing this right now, so I need some water, which I apparently have plenty of. All right. I don't know if I can do this one. Oh. It's knowing that your door is always open and your path is free to walk. That makes me tend to leave my sleeping bag rolled up and stored behind your couch. And it's knowing I'm not shackled by forgotten words and bonds, and the ink stains that are dried upon some lines. By the rivers of my memory, it keeps you ever gentle on my mind. It's not clinging to the rocks and ivy planted on their columns now that bind me, or something that somebody said because they thought we fit together walking. It's just knowing that the world will not be cursing or forgiving when I walk along some railroad track and find that you're moving on the back roads by the rivers of my memory, and for hours you're just gentle on my mind. Okay? So a lot of this is who makes you feel gentle, who feels gentle on your mind? And when you don't feel the gentleness on your mind, why is that? Usually judgment. People who you come back to and you feel continually that they're gentle on your mind, right? Meaning that you think of them. And Campbell, Suzanne, thank you. You think of these certain people, and it's gentle. You know that feeling? I hope you have someone like that. That you know you could call them at any time. Not saying they'll always answer, right? Because they have their own life. And you have no judgment to them either. You are gentle on each other's mind, meaning no matter how long it's been, you know you are in my heart. No matter what, there's no wrong you can do. That is true unconditional love. I know that every part of your path is only to make you stronger, is only to make you more complete within yourself. to grow. Cutting the bad fruit off of my tree to lighten my load and grow me tall. It's fire pit, what is it? Something about fire pit mantra. Covered in ashes, now take me home. The wolves have returned. The veil is lifting. Gaia, on a macro level, is lifting. Communication with spirit will become stronger. There is no stopping it. If you resist, there will only be pain. There will only be tower moments. And the only way to truly step in to this energy is to be absolutely authentic. To use no one's measuring stick but your own. You are not behind. You are not behind. There will be lessons, they're saying, that will be harder for you to learn than others. And there will be lessons that will be easier. One minute you'll think you're ahead and the next behind. And that is the way that flow works. Because if we were all, even Steven, on the exact same path, going through the exact same levels at the exact same time, my goodness, what are we doing here? If it's that planned out, what are we even doing here? We're here to create. When they say everything is meant to happen, it happened for a reason. It's not so much that it was already planned out. It's because as we are creating, as we are blossoming, if you saw the picture I put in the community tab, it became so painful staying in a bud that I finally had to blossom, right? That little bud you stayed in, it became too painful. You have to blossom into your authentic self. And the funny thing is that blossoming doesn't take so much work as it doesn't take changing who you are. It takes releasing that which doesn't serve you so that the real you can shine through. Did I put into the title of this? I'm not sure. Shiny darkness. Your darkness, the pain, the swords are what will eventually make you shiny. They're going to shine you up good if you let them. This is the beauty that we don't understand yet. I know it does not feel good to go through. But my God, if you could see it from their perspective, they're saying, it is a beautiful thing to see. They're so proud of you. How far so many of you have come. You're so incredibly strong, they're saying. Most of you have done more than what you set out to do already. Have been braver than you ever could know. What you think is your weakness, what has taken you down, is actually you're beginning to realize your strength. Right? Those are your swords. That's what we have been channeling. Now it's about getting over the measuring stick that we all want to use, right? The Joneses measuring stick, right? Now we've got the spiritual Joneses, right? You should be here. Like I said, some of these swords may be harder for you to pull out, take longer for you to pull out, but some of them are going to be harder and longer for others, and you'll pull them out quickly. Give yourself permission, they're saying, to go at your pace. Do you know what your pace is? Your higher self does. Have you asked? I like his measuring stick. You have your own. Find out what it is. Wow. Spirit is saying many of you are touching into some truly psychic abilities. They may not always be. Our culture has cultivated an idea that psychics, yeah, spiritual Joneses. I know, Spirit came up with that one. Spirit is saying many of you are psychic, and our culture has cultivated an idea that psychic is flashy. You're going to see visions. There's always crazy music in the background when you watch the reality shows, right? It's not understood to us, and therefore it is mystical. But actually, psychic is just a terminology for those who are tapping into their natural state more frequently, more often. Most times the psychic state, the strongest of all psychic state, they're saying, is just the knowing. You have no idea how many times you have operated from a psychic state and you aren't giving yourself credit for it. You do have the ability. That's what I'm saying, Miyush. Every single one of us has the ability of intuition. It's how much are you taking advantage of it. What we term psychics are people who spend time and effort into going into meditative states, practicing altered state of consciousness. We all have the ability. We all have the ability. It does take work. It does take practice. It does take self-discipline to tap into your intuition and trust it. It's not overnight. I'm still working on it. But look how I split the deck and 2 queens came out. These are the 2 queens right here. They're the most psychic in the deck. You see here that this Queen of Water, Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces, she's holding a cup, but it's not a regular cup. It's a scribing cup. She sees you. She knows. She doesn't need lofty visions and, I'm not saying any of those things are bad. I want to demystify, though, ability of psychicness. Many of your higher selves are communicating with you. That is psychic. When we say higher selves, this is truly where all of your information comes from. Your higher self is connected to source, which is you. That is why we'll get into that another day. This queen right here, we see her throne sits in the clouds, but she's dressed in full battle rattle. She cuts through the BS. Where this queen going within may have barnacles growing upon her because she takes too much of what others feel onto herself. At that point, whose fault is it? Yet this queen turns around and retreats. Do you see the difference even? Look at this. Look how here it looks dark and cloudy. But we see that when she goes within, the sun begins to rise. Lemurian crystals at the seat of her throne, holding vast wisdom and knowledge. She is confident in who she is. She doesn't need flash or scribing cups to show what she can do. I'm not saying, again, nothing bad. I'm trying to make a point here. Yet we see this queen, when she turns around, it's dark. She has to rest. She has to go within. She has to retreat. There are barnacles growing because she has allowed that to happen. She's picked up pieces of all of that along the way. But to realize that it only makes you stronger. All right, Spirit. This 2 of Pentacles keeps coming out. Spirit's saying you have the ability to do this. For those of you who have been not thinking that you can, you know what I'm talking about? You have the ability to do this and to manage it all. Stop thinking it's only you. This is part of the game of life. Okay? Stop worrying what others think. Okay? In this image we see here, it's almost like everybody's kind of waiting for him to drop them. Even if they are. Why are you looking at them? You've got this. Maybe not alone. Oh, maybe not alone. But with Spirit, you've got this. But it's no fun trying to control that wheel by yourself. You have to step into the flow and do so with Spirit. If you try to do it alone, you're going to feel like this. Like everyone's watching you. Everyone's waiting for you to fail. And it's not fun doing it alone. But whenever you do it with Spirit, oh, you come back up the wheel. Right? Let Spirit steer the wheel. Let Spirit steer the wheel. And you just go with the flow, baby. You go with the flow. Watch those pentacles grow. Many of you have been through the transformation and you are ready for what's coming next. I want to warn you that 2020 brings... Once you go down this road and you have broken these chains, do you see those chains that he's broken free from on the ground? There's no turning back, right? Again, the sign of Cancer. There's no turning back. And I love this connotation because you have broken free. Now we see the determination in your face. Now we see there is something screaming to get out of you and you're about to let it loose. You're about to let it loose. No more of one of your wands being bolted to the wall because you have broken free. Most of it within your own mind. Through this transformation. Going within. Making a sacrifice. Making a sacrifice. Spirit, clarify what kind of sacrifice you're looking for. I know what it was for me. I like how I said sacrifice, and look at that. How much does that look like she's making a sacrifice? For some of you, they're saying the sacrifice may be alcohol, maybe friends, for a time being. For a time being. Going within, right? You're not supposed to be doing this with others watching you. This is a very private thing between you and the gods. Between you and Spirit. We see here death comes to us all. But once you understand why that circle turns the way it does, like I said, there is beauty in that pain. There really is. A sacrifice of time, of control. There's something waiting for you. There's something waiting for you. And interesting, I've really never noticed how these two both hold up something, a gold ball there. This eternal fire, this Pandora's box, something is waiting for you. Once you let go of control and let that thing behind you that's screaming to get out, your authentic self, out. Who are you authentically? Have you ever noticed how much easier life flows when you're just you? When you just do you? No more of this. You only get caught up in these tower moments when you have an unstable foundation and when you're too mixed up in the reactions and the energies, right? And the other energies around you to see it coming. But once you flow with Spirit, baby, that lightning strikes again, you ain't there for it. You see that? Nobody's jumping out of that old ass tower. Demonetized. Nobody's jumping out of that old tower. Because you left. Right? You left these rough waters behind, headed towards something perfect for you. A place of solace, a place of healing. Interesting, 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 interesting. Y'all know how in the swords, I always talk about how that queen cut herself free. We see because of the rope hanging from her wrist. Now we're talking about Queen of Cups, right? Queen of Cups keeps coming out in very many different decks. Now look at this. I always say that was her back then. This Queen of Cups, you see how she holds her scribe? Her scribing cup? Now, look at this. This woman had to get away from something. She had to walk away from someone who was planting barnacles on her. This is what made her stronger. Now look closely. As she arrives in her new place, look at that cup. This is the queen with the scribing cup. She may have dyed her hair, but that's the same woman. She never put down her psychic ability, and it grew in time. It grew. Thank you, Christina, my love. Beautiful soul. You're amazing. Okay. Interesting. Queen of Cups we're moving into, huh? Interesting, interesting. That veil is a lifting. That veil is a lifting. On that veil, you see pomegranates that stand for the divine feminine. You see palms that stand for the divine masculine. The moon at her feet, for she is truly psychic and goes by the cycles of the moon. She holds the Torah in her lap. She guards the veil. Intuition is hers. Are you ready? She says. Have you moved past seeing yourself as a victim? Have you taken off the blinders and realized that you hold the power? This woman is sitting freely there with a blindfold on. Why? And we notice not just power, these swords are so big, they cut out of the picture. You don't even see the ends of them, they're so big. There is a choice here. There is a choice. There's an epiphany for you if you are willing to take off this blindfold. Stop seeing yourself as a victim. There's an epiphany for you there. There's something that God's handing you directly there. There's that queen. See that rope? She cut herself free. They want you to be ready for this. You can't receive this. You can't receive this or the Ace of Swords if you're blindfolded. It won't be possible for you to see it. But Spirit's ready to hand it to you. Still a few things to put down at the baggage claim. There's still a few of you working through some of this pain, and that is okay. That is okay. Don't live there. Look at it. Look at it as a third person who actually loves themselves. Look at it and say, look at yourself as somebody you actually love. Try that. Try that. I know it's hard. For some of you, though, you really do need to. You're down way too hard on yourselves. I'm feeling like you're either for some of you, not all of you. Okay. So let's let this resonate for those that need to hear it. I've been here. Give me a thumbs up if you've been here. Down on yourself, never enough. I'm never good enough. This is my measuring stick. It's the Joneses measuring stick, isn't it? Right? I know so many of you have been here. Give a thumbs up to support those who are here now. I know you have. And what about here? The victimization, right? Feeling sorry for ourselves because of everything that's gone wrong that we couldn't control. These are two different sides of the exact same coin, right? Two different sides of the same coin. The victimization, the self-pity, and the self-hatred. So what if someone says something about where you're at in life? Sammy B had an issue the other day because it was just like everything was like, ugh. She hadn't gone grocery shopping and she had, blown her budget a little, and, there's just all this stuff, right? And I think like, her boyfriend kind of got on to her like, watch your finances, nothing bad, but, and she was just like, man, I suck at life right now, right? How easy is it to fall back into that cycle? No, you don't suck at life. Today was a day that definitely brought you back up to yourself. Fabulous Ross, what the heck? It's orange. Oh, PHP. Okay. I don't know how much that is in American money, but thank you so much. Blessings to you. You so much bring good news. You deserve all the blessings. Also celebrating PayPal approving my card. You're so funny. I don't know what PHP is. Where is that from? I've never seen that. That's so cool. You guys are so amazing. You treat me so well. I think is that 500 Filipino dollars? Where is that from? I'm not sure. Okay. You guys, I appreciate everything you do for me. You are truly, thank you so much, my love. So much. You have no idea. That's going to buy me a bottle of wine later. I appreciate you guys so much. I do feel like the energies that were coming in yesterday and today were very, were slightly oppressive. Maybe being around family, some of you that measuring stick came out. Spirit's really wanting you to understand it's the opposite. It's not having a measuring stick that creates success. It creates boundless potential for growth. When you have a measuring stick that holds you too tight to a certain way of doing things and where you should be, it's oppressive and you actually grow less. There is no outward growth, only in your mind upward, right? You are meant to blossom. Okay? You're meant to blossom. You are meant to grow. And this, fortunately for you, is your fertilizer. Natural fertilizer, right? Not that cracked out kind we talked about before. This is your fertilizer. This is what helps you to grow. This is what forces that growth and forces that blossom up to where it becomes painful if you are not authentic within yourself. When you are truly coming from an authentic place, yes, thank you, Christina. When you are truly coming from an authentic place, it is the fastest way to weed out who is not serving you. Because if they are not loving your authentic version of you, then you know they are simply not at your vibration. That is the fastest way for Spirit to put you exactly where you're meant to be. Now, When I say your authentic version of yourself, I mean responding rather than reacting. I mean taking a moment to think before you speak. I mean being one and in unity with spirit, flowing with spirit. Oh, honey, you're fine. I think that they figured that out on YouTube side. And I figured out finally how to do it on the PayPal side. So before, I think I had an issue with that. Anyway, so what I'm trying to say here, okay, is I'm not telling you to go out there and be a hard nose. This is me, and if you don't like it, screw off. You know, that's not what I'm saying. Being your authentic version of you also means accepting others and where they're at in their journey. Yes, you are ahead of others. You are reaching a point where it is in being authentic and being authentically you that you are teaching and that you are healing. And they're saying not just healing, they're saying this is something kind of new. Okay. They're saying not just healing you and those around you, but old ancestral lines of karma. Your ancestors are very grateful to you. You carry a piece of them within your soul. That's what a soul family is. We're all connected. Little pieces of your ancestors are still within you. And you're healing old. This is something that we are just now reaching the vibration of being able to do. Many of you are holding on to old ancestral karma that has been passed down generation to generation to generation. Cool. Well, the channeling comes in the same, right? I mean, this is what, that's beautiful, love and life. This is what it's all about. I love whenever channeling is pushing out at a mass level, right? There's a reason Twin Flames came out at one time, right? Look at my channeling, like I said before, it comes out like a story, a beautiful story unfolding. And if you go back and you flow with it, you will see where the growth happened and how beautiful it was. And it helps you to step into future swords, future pain with grace, forgiveness. It's so much easier to forgive when you're authentic with yourself. And that takes practice. It's not overnight. Every single day, practice being authentic. When you go somewhere, I don't care who you're around or with, you sit up straight. Because if you own one thing in this world, it is the space your body takes up. And then respond rather than react. Think before you speak. Meditation is listening to God. Prayer is talking. Let's make sure that's a two-way conversation, right? So many times, God, why did this happen? Oh, why, God? Oh, please, God, if this happens, then this. Well, how often are we listening? Even without realizing it, we're talking to God all the time. How often are we listening? I am resilient. I trust the music. I show up at the table again and again and again. I close my mouth and learn to listen. Listen. They're saying listen, please. Listen to your intuition, please. Meditation video. Write that down. Don't forget about it. meditation video. Tomorrow, we are going to be doing the drawing for a free hour-long reading. I have 2 more readings to schedule, Sharon and Veronica. Otherwise, I'm open back up for personal readings. I'm probably going to be posting a discount because Christmas is coming up and I miss my kiddo and I want to buy him some stuff, which is not usually like me, but it's been a minute. So saving up for Christmas, and I also want a new YouTube camera. So one that's not my phone, you know, so I'm saving up for that. So all donations are going towards that, just FYI. If you donate to my channel, you are put into my 2 manifestation rituals, which is on the new moon and the full moon. Okay, so make sure that you include what you want to manifest. It's important for me to give back. Same thing if you donate through super chats. I always want to say Snapchat. Super chats, you're added to that Excel spreadsheet. For some of you, like, you know, like Ahaya, she like gives when she can, and it'll be like, sometimes she'll give 2 or 3 times during one video, which is so fun. But you know, it's like $1.22 here, and then $5 there, and then $11 here, and 20. You know, she does what she can, but she does it when she can do it, and that gets added to her spreadsheet of how much she has put in. So every $5, you have your name is put on a piece of paper, basically. And that's how many times you are put in a drawing for the free reading. Okay, so you get the free reading drawing thing, and you know what you're donating is annotating on what that's going to be. So I just want to explain how that's all working. We're going to be drawing that tomorrow. So if you have been donating, even if you haven't said what you want to manifest, and even if you don't want it, you're in the drawing. So you can give it away if you're not interested in the free reading. Some people are like, no, I'm getting what I need from here, but you know, my sister could really use this. Or, you know, I just had Sammy B just got her sister a reading. She was like, I just think it would really help you right now with where you're at in life, right? Put in effort and self-discipline. These 2 are going to be coming in energetically, right? Sagittarius season, that balance, self-discipline and effort. This doesn't have to be ooky and hard, okay? This doesn't have to be hard. This can be beautiful if you step into it with spirit. Don't make spirit or Saturn come down and tell you how to live life. Okay, don't make spirit do this part. Let spirit reward you. Let spirit do the fun part. That's what spirit wants to do. And if you're asking yourself, where do I need self-discipline? Where do I need effort? Meditate on that. Okay, meditate on that. Meditate on just the self-discipline. What is the feeling you get when I say self-discipline? Do you feel guilt immediately? Do you feel resonance? What is the immediate feeling you get? And then that's how you begin a meditation on self-discipline. Examine that from a third person perspective, right? Without judgment. Look at it. Why do you feel guilty when I say self-discipline? Is it because you feel that you're not putting enough effort? Does it have something to do with that measuring stick Val was talking about? Is it my measuring stick? Or is it someone else's? Yes. Effort. Does it make you feel tired? Well then, where am I putting my effort? I shouldn't be this tired. How much have I accomplished with all this effort I'm putting in? Are you going to the baggage claim and not just picking up your bags, but everybody else's? When you got enough crap of your own. It's like you can't even get your own crap back in a luggage cart. You got to get 2 luggage carts just for your own crap. And then you're picking up everybody else's. And it's like, what are you doing? Effort. You see how it's yellow? Joy. It should be fun. A little bit of self-discipline, right? These come from the sacral chakra, right? Meditate and clear that sacral chakra. Understand the energies that you're about to step into. The energies of Sagittarius are meant to be inspiring and fiery. A new beginning is on the horizon. Get ready to jump into it, but do so prepared. Don't go into this mission unprepared. It's like me hiking the Gulf Coast and not planning for needing water and food and anything else like that. Thank you, Albie, my sweet love bug. You're such a darling. Thank you, sister, so much. Yes, the fear of failing. Ooh, what a clincher, what a clincher, what a clincher. The fear of failing. There's not a person in this world that doesn't have that fear. Not one. Just because, right? Some of them push through it, some of them don't. Some of them are completely crippled by it. But what have I said before? The universe falls in love with a stubborn heart. The universe hopes that you fail. Thank you, Jennifer, for my Christmas savings. I'm telling y'all, when my kid gets here, we're going to do a video. Y'all will love him. If you haven't seen the video of him, he's a super philosopher. But, oh, where was I? I feel like that was good. Spirit. Where was I? Somebody help me. Okay. The season of Sagittarius is upon you. It is time to finish up our sword pulling. I'm not saying it's going to be over forever. Don't feel like we have to stop looking at things linear. Things are going to arise as they're meant to be dealt with. Okay? This is not all on you to do this. Spirit's not expecting you to do this all by yourself. But there is a shift coming. Do you see the eclipse? There is a shift coming. And they need you to at least see these swords. Does that make sense? They need you to at least see these swords. I wonder if our spirit guides contact you while I do these. Absolutely they do. Yes. But because there are so many guides out there and so many energies, like I can feel today, right now, I feel a bit ADD with it because my own fault, because I did not pray for as long as I probably should have before I started. Generally, the way I do it is my spirit guides translate for them in order, because it's hard to explain the way my channeling works. Ah, thank you, Allison Strini. You guys are so wonderful. Okay, sorry. So the way that it generally works is I kind of can see the energies. That it's almost like they're sitting, it almost feels like an auditorium. There's a bunch of them and they're all talking between each other. They're having coffee. It's kind of like, you know, that feeling like before a conference starts, but it's like everybody's there and they're excited about this conference. They're like geeking out on it because they're so excited. They're like, oh my gosh, yeah, I've been waiting for this all year. And it could be like a Comic-Con conference, or it could be a mathematic conference, whatever it is. For them, it's like, oh man, this is so much fun getting to talk to my people without sending them into these tower moments, into these swords, right? This is a way of you getting to communicate with the energies of your spirit guides. So when what your issues are resonating, I'm going to explain this so that people can kind of understand my channeling. When your energies and what you're going through are similar to some of us in the soul tribe, especially like the bigger the number, the more they can help, right? That means that energy raises. Then it's kind of like all those spirit guides are like, my person's going my person's going through that too. Yeah, me too. And it may be in different ways because they don't see it like we do. We see each one of these swords as the worst thing that ever happened. This happened to me. This happened to me. This happened to me. And what they're saying is, so then they're sitting there telling my spirit guides who tell me, okay, here's the deal. A lot of them are going through this, right? Hi, Phoenix Lotus, right? So they'll be like, here's the deal. A lot of them are going through this energy right now. So they'll give me words or ways to explain that, right? Generally, they show me in thoughts, pictures form, and I find the verbal format for it, if that makes sense. I hope that's making some sense. So then I find the verbal format, and oftentimes what's going to happen is that the messages that you're needing to hear will come to you the way you need to hear them, because then there's your spirit guide. Light bulb, light bulb, light bulb. Your higher self saying, wait, I recognize that. That means something to me. And whether what I say makes you clench up, like I said earlier, how do you feel when you hear the words self-discipline? Does it make you feel good? Does it make you feel guilty? Does it make you feel like you're behind? Does it give you a clench in your stomach? Effort. How does it make you feel? Our emotions are the only tools that we truly have on this earth to grow. When you're able to control, analyze, and see those emotions as the tools that they were meant to be, as happening for you rather than to you, that is when you have developed a superpower. Thank you. That is when you have developed a superpower. That is when you begin to act in authenticity, because you now see why it all happened exactly the way that it had to happen. Now you get to dance in this beautiful game of life. This shift happens and you're ready for it. At least look at the swords. At least do this much. That's all I'm asking you to do before 2020. Look at the swords. That is the biggest part of the battle. You think there's so much work to do. There's not as much as you're thinking, they're saying. Yeah, they're all like, there's really, really, really not as much as you think there is to do. Your measuring stick, it's a little off kilter. There is no measuring stick. Well, you kind of do have a motivational speech for me every day. I really, these are not, these are truly the way they're feeling. This is your motivational speech. This is your motivational speech from you. Your higher self is calling this in, forcing this channeling. When I get on here and channel, it's because you guys have been sending the messages of what you want to hear. You should be hearing what you need to hear. Like it or not, right? Like it or not, you should be hearing what you need to hear, because everything I'm saying is what you're channeling to me. Your higher selves are wanting to learn. Your higher selves are saying, my goodness, baby, look at those swords. Are we going to pick those up anytime soon and get the heck out of Dodge? Okay. I am going to get on and start doing some videos. I'm feeling good. This is really channeling in. We're coming into the year of 2020. I expect this to come in a lot. I'm expecting new, this one and this one are coming in a lot. Knight of Wands. We are in Sagittarius season. 2 of Pentacles. I'm expecting, they're telling me, get excited about this card, because they're telling me I'm going to get some new channeling on it. So I'm really excited. Things that they're saying, there's something I'm not seeing and there's something you're not seeing and that we are not quite ready for. We're not quite, like, probably in the next few days. We're going to get some new channeling in. I just love our channeling. Cooperating with spirit. Releasing the pain. Looking at it. Seeing it. Feeling it. Healing it. Releasing it. Like a fart in the wind. Getting fun comfortable, right? Because that's where the fun starts. Taking out these swords and putting them in our arsenal. Stepping into 2020 with all the power that we have cultivated. All this stuff that we thought was pain is actually power. Every door open. Every option open. Lightning striking, baby. It's going to happen really soon. It's coming. Do not walk into it with even one of these. Pick that flower. Look at it. Right? Look at it. You see here, he still has his battle rattle on. We see here, she hasn't cut herself free yet. Spirit's waiting on you, baby. Spirit is just waiting on you. There is no time limit, though. It has to be done right. It has to be done right, or it's not happening at all. There's so much newness waiting for you. Examine your emotions and your feelings right now. The time of Sagittarius is very much about that. Having balance and looking at why certain things make you. Examine your emotions. You should have started feeling this. A lot of it might have been triggered by Thanksgiving, because we have to examine our emotions at Thanksgiving if we want to get through it, survive our families. Queen of Cups is showing herself, saying examine your emotions. What is really yours and what belongs to others? Have respect for others' path. You remember what it was like to live subconsciously, to live unconsciously, not subconsciously, unconsciously. When you begin to live a more conscious life, you can start seeing how painful it was to be living in the dark. When you take your darkness and look at it, it becomes the shining emblem that makes you rise up, that makes you shine. That's why I said shiny darkness, right? Okay. You guys have done so amazing at this. This is pretty much done. Moving into the Sagittarius season. Now it's going to be about a little bit of action, but it's mostly going to be about balancing and looking at your emotions, because very soon they are going to be putting things, opportunities, stuff in your way where you will have to react quickly, or there will need to be some sort of reaction. They're saying not so much react quickly, but I want you to be able to stop and say it's okay to think about this. Be mature, emotionally intelligent. They say don't waste your hate, rather gather and create. Be of service, be a sensible person, use your words, no, don't be nervous. You can do this, you've got purpose. Find your medicine and use it. I love you, my soul tribe. I'm going to finish up 2020 readings this weekend, and we have some specialty ones next week that I want to get to real quick. I think I'm going to do some love ones because I haven't really focused on that at all, and I want to see you all to have an opportunity to see what's going on. That is a part of your spiritual journey and your enlightenment. I just like to put it contained so that people understand that it's not all about that, right? Please take the time to truly examine your emotions right now. They're really pushing that through. That's going to be the next channeling. I'm sure they'll give me some fun way of saying it, but for right now, they're saying look at it. Look at what you're feeling. Why are you reacting rather than responding? Those are the things that have the most lesson for you and that will push you the furthest in your ascension. The things that make you feel most strongly, whether happy or sad. Examine your emotions. Cultivate your emotional intelligence. You're a powerful being and you're a teacher. It's highly necessary for you to cultivate that intelligence for what you're going forward to do in your mission going forward, and lifting the collective consciousness is no light feat. And you will need to have complete, I won't say control over your emotions, but flow within them. You will need emotional intelligence to recognize what you're feeling and to recognize what's ego and what's spirit and how to bring those two together to grow. Okay? It's going to take some effort this month and a little bit of self-discipline. Meditate on how these make you feel. Effort, self-discipline, effort 5. Self-discipline 5, effort 4. Okay? Love and light to you, soul tribe. Catch you on the flip side. Like and subscribe. It's like tipping.